Alright, so I went ahead and just kind of set the remote start unit over there in the corner, up in the corner of the kick panel up above. And there's some wiring there that I can tie it to afterwards, so that's roughly where it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead first and hook up my large ignition wires. I'm going to test them, make sure we got the right wires. The colors coincide exactly with what we've got in the software here for diagrams, but we're going to go ahead and test it anyway. So I'll show you how we do that. Alright, so the first wire that I'm testing is the constant 12 volt. Pretty simple. I put my multimeter red lead on the wire that I'm testing, so the black and yellow. And then the black lead is going to be on ground. And then this is my Harbor Freight multimeter. This is the free one that they give you, so you don't need anything fancy for this. And it's set to DC voltage, so it's reading 12 volts right there. So that is our correct 12 volt wire. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my red lead from the heavy gauge wires right up to that. Alright, so the next wire that I'm testing is the blue with a red stripe. And that should be the starter wire. So I'm going to go ahead and crank it as if it's turning on, but I'm going to hopefully not turn it on because I'm in an enclosed garage. And you should see a brief 12 volts while it's cranking. Okay, so, alright, then I connected my purple starter wire to that and the red constant wire to the black and yellow. Now I'm moving on. Alright, so now I'm connected to the red yellow wire, which is going to be accessory. So with this, it'll get no voltage on with the key off. With the key turned to the on position, it'll get voltage, but then once cranking, it cuts out. So we'll show you that. There we go. And then, there we go. I'm going like I'm cranking. Then nothing. So that is our accessory wire. So we will hook our orange up to that. Alright, and then our last wire is going to be the solid red, which is ignition 1. This will get no voltage with the key off. It'll get voltage with the key on and stay on during crank. So there we go, key on, then stayed on during crank. I turn it off right away because I don't want to die. But yeah, so that is going to be what our pink wire connects to. So we'll connect that. Alright, so I finished up the ignition wires, and over in that same area, running in those bundles over there, should be the ones for the horn and the parking lights. So I'm going to go ahead and test over there and see if I can find those. I'll probably start with the horn one, which according to my diagram here is going to be a red, green, and a 3-pin plug at the steering column. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find one and test it out. Alright, so I found it there in the black plug. Depending on which side you look, it'll be red, green on one side and then green, red on the other. So it took me a little bit to realize that. So I got it probed there. I got the black lead on there and the red lead on constant 12 volts. So here's the multimeter, and I'm going to press the horn. And you see the voltage there. Cheap multimeter, so it takes a little bit to register, but it's definitely our wire. So I'm going to hook up the brown wire to that, the thicker brown wire to that. Alright, and the parking lights ended up being white with a green stripe underneath the fuse box hole. Here's the fuse box directly underneath on the left. There's a gray connector with a white and green stripe. And the way you test this one, there's a positive trigger, so negative lead to ground, and then the red lead up to this wire, and then you have to actually turn the key on to test this wire. Subarus are a little weird. The parking lights don't come on without the key, so here it is. On, off, on, off. So there we have it. Alright, and the next wire I'm testing is the brake switch wire, and that's going to be a white with a black right at the brake switch. So you can see it kind of up there. Got my lead into there. And then it's white and black, so I'm going to go ahead and press the brake. And it's a positive trigger, so I should see 12 volts here on the meter, which we see there. So that is it, and that's what we will connect our thinner, shorter brown wire to. Alright, so the next wires that I'm testing for are going to be the lock and unlock wire, which those are going to be right there at that plug there with the, it's called the lock module, I believe. And so this one here is going to be the lock wire, the white with red stripe, and then the solid white is going to be the unlock. So Let me see, I don't know if I can just get them shoved in there or not. So, okay, so I got that one on the lock wire. So I'm going to hit the lock switch on the door panel. As you can see, you get 12 volts there because we're giving it a negative, and that's what ends up reading that. So yeah, so that is our lock wire. And then unlock. So I'm going to hit unlock on the lock switch. There we go. So that'll be it. So I'm going to hook up the blue wire here to the lock wire and the green to the unlock. Alright, one of the last connections we're going to do is the ground. And for that I always go to the kick panel, scrape some paint, and just do a self-tapper in there. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right here. There's some good metal right here to do that with. Either here or up higher, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, so there you can see my ground. I scraped the paint, used a self-tapping screw and a star washer. So now the next thing I'm going to do is, well, I didn't mention, but I went ahead and put my parking light jumper there for positive parking lights. Now I'm going to connect the antenna, which I haven't ran yet, but I'm going to connect it and test out the lock and unlock, just to make sure we're doing good so far. So, alright, so I got the antenna here, got the fob here, so I'm going to hit lock. There we go, lock. You heard the horn honk. Unlock. Alright, cool. And then here's what happens if you try to start it right now. You get 7 flashes of the parking lights, and the reason being is that it's by default in manual transmission mode, because this unit works for manual or automatic transmissions. So in a little bit I'll show you how to change out of manual mode into automatic mode. I'm also going to turn that horn honk off because it's annoying to me. I just hook up the horn for programming purposes. And then for the gray and then the purple white, I went ahead and ran those through the clutch pedal grommet right up there. I just cut a little hole in it with a blade, pushed them through, and then they are coming out right there. And then I'll show you what we do with those in a little bit, but right now I'm gonna connect the tack wire and then look for a good spot for my hood pin switch. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to get it out of manual transmission mode and into automatic transmission mode. So I'm going to turn the key to the on position and then right back off. Then I'm going to hold this. So we're going to go to menu 3. So 1 LED, 2 blinks, 3 blinks. So that's the menu we want to be in. So then I press 1 for option 1 and then I press it again to hold it, select it. Alright, and so now I'm going to press lock here. That leaves it to option 1, manual transmission mode. So I'm going to press it twice, press unlock, and that blinks twice. That's for option 2 for automatic. So and then that's what we wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the key to the on and off position, and it will honk again. And then we're going to try the remote start. Alright, and as far as running my antenna, I just stuck it right up there behind the mirror, ran the wiring up in here, and then I popped this panel off, ran the wire behind there, tucked it all up in here. Obviously for that I had to pull this out, so I'm actually in the process of tucking it back in. I didn't really show taking it off, but really you just pull right here and then it pulls up all the way up. And then you pop this off, pull it down just enough to get the wire through, and then you're good. So from there, I'm going to start buttoning things up under here, and then clean it up and get going. Alright, so here's essentially the finished product under the dash. Got the wiring running up there. Obviously there's a bunch of it bundled there because, like I said, I'll probably end up taking this out, putting it in another vehicle when I sell it. So I got the stuff zip tied up, basically up out of the way. We got the unit back up in the corner, zip tied up out of the way as well. We got the wires running into the firewall. We've got the programming switch right here, which I'm going to leave basically right up under the dash area so that we can turn that on and off if we need to. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be actually running a hood pin switch. I don't see a good spot for it. I don't have any brackets, so I may not end up running that. Also with the tack wire, these units have virtual tack as an option, which generally works good except for when it gets really cold. Sometimes it has issues, so I've got the wires in the engine bay, so what I'm going to do is just bundle them back up, leave them there, and if I end up needing them, or say it doesn't start on really cold days, then I'll go ahead and connect the tack wire. The main thing is you're going to connect it right here at the ignition coil at this blue wire. I also don't have any wire loom right now, and I don't like having wires going through the engine bay without wire looms, so that's also part of this. So yeah, if anything, I'm going to definitely do a hood pin switch. I'm not doing it right now. I'm going to get the kind that I can drill up into here, and then it goes down. It's a little ball bearing tilt switch, because the pin switch it comes with, I don't see a good spot for it, and I really don't want to, I don't have any brackets to make one. So yeah, so basically right now I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and test it out here shortly, and then it should be good to go. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and try. I'm just going to press the button one time. See the light go on, so the parking lights flash. Takes a couple seconds, and crank down. Alright, and now it's learning the virtual attack, so after a couple seconds the parking lights will come on. That means it has learned it successfully, and then I'll shut it down with the remote. There we go, and that means it learned virtual attack, so now I'm going to shut it back down, holding the button. There we go.